So this series is over. Miami versus Boston. The Miami Heat roster. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if we are going to talk about the worst rosters in the playoffs, without Jimmy Butler, this team is one of the worst. Like, I still think they're gonna get some. I still think they're gonna win a game. Just the Heat culture is gonna drag them through, and they pulled it back a little bit at the end, I guess. I think they got back to 15 at one stage, but Miami just don't have the firepower. Nikola Jovic, my prediction for MIP at the start of the year. Why couldn't you play like this at the start of the year? I could have been right. Jaime Jaquez Jr. I get it, he's an older rookie, but he's a hell of a player. He's a hell of a player. Bam Adebayo is going to do Bam things. Duncan Robinson and Hero, I don't know. They're going to give you some good games in the playoffs. We saw in 2022, and like, did he play more? I think it might have even been last year as well. Like, I don't think Hero is that important for Miami in the playoffs. I really don't. Like, I don't hate Tyler Hero. I think he's decent. I don't think he's that important. But Boston have just too many weapons. Miami went into that game with a strategy that I really find ballsy from Eric Spoelstra, from a coach who knows he's safe, of we're winning or losing by 30. If you guys saw the way, the looks, especially early in that game, that Miami were giving to Boston. The Miami zone has given Boston a lot of trouble in the past. This Boston team just shot the damn lights out. They shot the lights out. Tatum, Sam Hauser. Like, this is not the bubble Boston team. This is not a team who's playing like Yabusele. This is not a team with Grant Williams as one of their, like, quote-unquote best shooters. This is a team that can just play. Like, if you sit in that zone, you can put on Peyton Pritchard, you can put on Sam Hauser, you can put on these guys to shoot you out of it. Porzingis is a stretch five. Al Horford's shooting better than he was during that period. He's shooting a lot better than he was. And what am I talking about during that period? Al Horford was with the freaking 76ers during the bubble. Like, he's shooting better than what Daniel Tice was at that stage. But this Boston Celtics team is equipped to pick apart Miami Heat zone, and the only chance Miami have is playing a zone. The only chance Miami have in this series is 4 out of 7 games going out with a tactic of we're going to win or lose by 40 and just getting lucky. Praying Boston choke. Because otherwise, they don't stand a chance. If Miami just play this like a regular series and just want to keep the games close and see what they can do, they're going to lose because they're not as good as Boston. They're just not as good as Boston. Not this Boston team. They've got too many weapons. So I actually do kind of like throwing junk zones at them. I think Spoelstra is going to adapt, and I think that Miami are going to come out with something completely new in game 2. It's not going to make a difference. Boston are just that good. Boston are honestly scary. Like, it's going to be very hard to see how these guys deal with pressure until they have some. But player for player, this team is one of the scariest teams I have ever seen in the NBA. Honestly, one of the scariest teams, because on any given day, if Tatum has a bad day, you've got 3 other All-Stars there. There are 4 All-Star level players in Jrue Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum. They've got 4 All-Star level players, 1 elite role player, who in an era past might have just fluked an All-Star in Derek White. And then you've got Peyton Pritchard, you've got Sam Hauser, you've got other guys that can, like, actually play off the bench. You've got, obviously, Al Horford as well. Like, I know he's old, but man, that man's aging like fine wine. He seems a lot better now than he was 4 years ago when he was with Philly, or when OKC just chose not to play him. But still, this Boston team, I don't see how, unless the only way I can see them losing is if they choke. I cannot see them losing as far as skill goes, talent goes, heck, even like just how they play together. I still think they're the better team than Denver. The only thing is that Denver have shown that they can step up and play better when it matters, whereas Boston, I don't know, Boston have been good in the playoffs, but when it really matters, they have kind of shrunk. That is the only thing that's going to stop Boston. Man, the East is free. If Boston don't come through the East, it's going to be one of the most disappointing things I've ever seen. Because, like, Miami, whatever about Heat culture, it's the worst Miami Heat team. Player for player, this might be the worst Miami Heat team, with Jimmy injured, obviously. The worst Miami Heat team that we've seen since the year they tanked for for Derrick Rose. Or, well, they probably would have tanked for Michael Beasley, for being honest. They probably would have taken him one. The other time for Beasley. It's the worst Miami Heat team I've seen since then, player for player. Yeah, they play well together. They are better than the sum of their parts. But still. And you go into round 2, and you're facing probably the Cleveland Cavaliers. And yeah, Cleveland, I think, will win a game. Their size with Mobley and Jared Allen will throw a little bit of trouble at them, I guess. Donovan Mitchell might will them to a game. Not a very good team. A team that may not have made the playoffs in the West. And then you're in the Eastern Conference Finals, and you're probably facing the New York Knicks or the Pacers. More than likely the Knicks. And I'm sorry, like, if Miles McBride, I think he's very good. And unlike Stephen A. Smith, I don't think he's Quentin Grimes. If he drops 30 a game, they might have a chance. Like Josh Hart, they've got guys like OG Anunoby. Their record with OG, maybe he's unbelievable. Maybe they'll go and do it. If the Celtics don't win the East, it's an embarrassment. It is. I've never seen a conference where, other than since 2017, where the Warriors and the Cavs lost a combined one game in their entire run to the finals. I've never seen a conference where the best team is so much better than everybody else since then. I wouldn't even say 2019. The Warriors got brought to 6 by the Clippers. The Warriors, that Rockets team were pretty damn good. The Nuggets team were pretty good that year. I think off the top of my head, no, none of the other finalists. Maybe Denver in the West last year. Probably not, though. I don't remember since 2017 a team that much better than everybody else in their conference. That no one else stands a chance. 2020 Lakers, maybe. The Clippers, whatever it is, didn't face them. Either way, it is what it is. I mean, that's the video. Boston are winning this series. If the Heat fluke even 2 games off Boston, I'll be delighted. As a Heat fan, I will be delighted.